Hello, I'm Isabela, and I'm an undergraduate nursing student at University of São Paulo. And I'm representing the study prevalence of obstetric violence in women who plan childbirth in Brazilian freestanding birth centers that I conducted in collaboration with another authors listed here. So, freestanding birth centers have a biopsychosocial model of care that can be a path to coping with obstetric violence. So, in this study, we aim to estimate the prevalence of obstetric violence reported by birthing people who choose the Brazilian freestanding birth center pathway of care. So, for our methodology, this is a descriptive study based on data from the National Survey, Birthing Brazilian Freestanding Birth Centers, which aim to evaluate both the practice and outcomes of care during labor and birth in Brazilian freestanding birth centers. The sample for the present study consisted of 1,067 women who planned a birth in all 8 Brazilian freestanding birth centers and answered a questionnaire after 4 months on obstetric violence 4 months after birth. So for the purpose of analysis, obstetric violence was defined as any occurrence of verbal or physical abuse, discrimination, stigmatization, negligence, and inadequate performance of vaginal examinations. So for our results, considering the occurrence of at least one act of obstetric violence between admission and discharge, an overall prevalence of 39.1% was identified. Specifically, the rate of obstetric violence among women who gave birth in the freestanding birth centers was 36.5%, while among those who underwent intrapartum transfer to the referral hospital, this rate reached 50.8%. So this prevalence was higher among adolescents, premiparous women, and those who experience a cesarean section. So our discussion conclusion. So this is, to our knowledge, this is the first study to evaluate violent practice during labor and childbirth in Brazilian freestanding birth centers and their respective referral hospitals. And these findings indicate that obstetric violence reported by women is notably high. However, the rates are lower in freestanding birth centers when compared to those observed in the obstetric units of referral hospitals following intrapartum transfer. And women who underwent transfer experience higher rates across all types of obstetric violence analyzed. So this data reaffirms the need to address obstetric violence, even when birthing people experience more respectful pathways of care, such as the ones offered by the freestanding birth centers. And the overall difference between the ones birthing the freestanding birth centers and the ones birthing obstetric units after transfer demonstrates the relevance of professional training based on humanistic and biopsychosocial principles, as well as the continuous awareness of the impact of the intrapartum transfer on obstetric violence experiences. So, conflicts of interest, none. And this study was approved by the Oswaldo Cruz Foundation Research Ethics Committee. This is our references. And thank you very much for your attention.